Algebra 2, Lesson A. In this video, we'll be doing parts A and B, geometry review, and angles. So for the geometry review, we're just going to review a few terms. First of all, point is a location represented by a dot. It's not actually a dot, it's just represented by a dot. A point is a specific location, geometrically. A curve is an unbroken connection of points, and a curve could be squiggly like this, or it could be like a right angle, or it could be just a weird line, or it could be a straight line. So the definition of a line is a straight curve that has no ends. It goes on infinitely in both directions. A line can have points on it, and it is usually defined by its points. So if we have A, B, and C on a specific line, then we can call it line AB, or we can call it line BA, we can call it AC or CA, and we can also call it BC or CB. Okay, a line segment is a portion of a line. We name it AB or BA, and it has two endpoints on it. That's what designates it to be a segment. And if it is named without a bar, just AB, then it is designating length. We can say segment AB is 2 centimeters long. Okay, array. Array is a half line. It has one endpoint. The beginning point is called the origin, and we can name this ray either AB or AC. It always has the origin in it. A plane is a flat surface with no boundaries and no thickness. So if you imagine a wall that goes on in every direction infinitely and that has no thickness. And in a plane, you can have different kinds of lines. You can have parallel lines, you can have intersecting lines, and you can have 3 points in a plane. What's special about this is that 3 points in any plane designate the crossing of 2 specific lines. Now we'll talk about angles. Okay, if you have an angle that looks like this, it's called a straight angle. This is a right angle. This is an acute angle and an obtuse angle. And this kind of angle is called a reflex angle. It's kind of bent backwards. As we know, right angles are 90 degrees, straight angles are 180 degrees. Acute angles are less than 90 degrees and obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees. When we talk about a circle is made up of 4 90-degree angles, and therefore it has 360 degrees. An angle is, by definition, the rotation of a ray about its endpoint from an initial position to a terminal position. So for an example, the initial position is on the bottom, the terminal position is up higher, and that is 40 degrees. We could also have the same initial and terminal position, but have it rotate 360 plus 40 degrees, or 400 degrees, and it looks the same, but it would be 400 degrees. Okay, naming angles. We can name an angle just by its endpoint, but it gets confusing when there are more than one angle in what we're looking at. So then we have to use 3 letters to name the angle. This angle is called BAD or angle DAB. You always start with the sides, go to the vertex, and then go out to the side. Angle BAC is this angle. And we can talk about adjacent angles. Adjacent angles have the same vertex and they share a common side. They don't overlap. So for example, angle BAC and angle CAD are adjacent angles. Okay, now we're going to talk about complementary and supplementary angles. If two angles add to be 90 degrees and they are adjacent angles, they are complementary. If two angles are adjacent and they add to be 180 degrees, then they are supplementary. The way I remember that is you can kind of make a C out of 90 degrees, and supplementary is made of two 90 degrees. It kind of makes an S, sort of. Okay, if you have two lines that intersect, then the angles that are opposite each other are called vertical angles. So in this case, angle A is equal to angle B because they are vertical. And angle C is also equal to angle D because they are vertical. So we'll do a couple examples. Find x and y. Well, we can see from the diagram that 30 degrees plus x is 90 degrees. So x has to be 60 degrees. And we can also see from the diagram that 40 plus y is 180 degrees. So y has to be 140 degrees. Okay, find x, y, and p. We can see that angle x is 50 degrees because it is a vertical angle with 50 degrees. P plus 50 has to be 180 degrees, so therefore P is 130 degrees. And angle P and angle Y are vertical angles, therefore they are equal, so angle Y is 130 degrees. Okay, find x, y, and p. In this case it's a little bit trickier. We can see that 110 degrees is equal to 5x because they are vertical. If we solve for x, we get x is equal to 22. We can also see that p plus 110 is 180 degrees, so p has to be 70 degrees. And if p is 70 degrees, it is equal to 2y because they are vertical angles. So 2y equals 70, y equals 35 degrees.